Welcome to the Battle for Greyport. In this game, you play an adventurer from the Red Dragon Inn, defending the city of Greyport from an attack by evil monsters. This video will teach you the basics of how to play. First, let's take a look at the different kinds of cards in the game. You start the game with a deck of heroes and items that you will use to fight monsters. Over the course of the game, you can recruit new heroes and items to improve your deck. Each round, you will be able to play one hero and equip that hero with one item to fight monsters in play. Heroes and items are either physical with a red border or magical with a blue border. A hero may only use an item of the matching type. The oversized heroes are the player heroes, representing you. Your player hero is never shuffled into your deck, and as the game progresses, it will level up. The burst in the upper left shows how much damage the hero or item will do to a monster in a fight. This can be a number, a damage die, or both. The coin in the bottom right indicates the kind of recruitment token you must spend to recruit the card. Heroes and items often have abilities. The icons next to each ability describe when that ability happens. The down arrow indicates an ability that happens immediately after you play the card. The right arrow indicates an ability that you can use once anytime during the current round. The crossed swords icon indicates an ability that happens when the hero or item is used to fight a monster. And the broom icon indicates an ability that happens during the cleanup step. Next up are location cards. These cards represent the various locations around Greyport where the battles are taking place. Locations provide important benefits to the players while they are battling there. Failing to save a location often comes with dire consequences. Monster cards are the threats you must defeat to win. The game contains 6 different monster subdecks, indicated by the icons in the bottom right. Most scenarios will use 2 of the 6 subdecks. The burst in the upper left shows how much damage the monster will do during the monster damage step. The heart in the upper right shows how many hit points the monster has. The shield in the upper right of some monster cards shows the amount of damage that is prevented each time the monster takes damage. The skull icon in the bottom left shows the monster's threat level, which is used when distributing monsters at the start of an encounter. Monsters can also have many different abilities. Here are a few examples. Ambush indicates an effect that happens when a monster is first revealed during setup. Tank indicates that the monster must be fought before the other monsters in its group. Ranged is the opposite. It indicates that other monsters in the group must be fought before this one. There are many other monster abilities. Check the rulebook for details. Boss cards are the special monsters that you face at the end of a scenario. The damage and shield icons work the same way that they do for monsters. However, most bosses have a variable number of hit points that depends on the number of players in the game. Curse cards are special cards that are added to your deck by some monster effects. Since they have no abilities, you definitely want to avoid them. The Battle for Greyport contains 7 different scenarios that you can play, and each scenario has several encounter cards associated with it. Each scenario card tells you which game components will be used for that game and how the players win or lose. Encounter cards describe how to set up the game at the start of each battle. To set up a game, first choose a scenario and gather the scenario, encounter, location, and boss cards you will need. Take the monster subdecks indicated on the scenario card as well. Each player chooses a character and takes that character's 9-card starting deck and 3 player heroes. Shuffle your 9-card deck and draw 5 cards from it, then add your level 1 player hero to your hand. Set aside the level 2 and level 3 player heroes. You will use them later in the game. Each player takes 10 hit point tokens unless the scenario card says otherwise. Shuffle the 50-card hero deck, then reveal the top 4 cards in a row next to the deck. Set aside any card with a gold coin as its cost, and continue revealing until the row contains 4 non-gold cards. Then shuffle the gold cards you set aside back into the deck. Repeat this process with the 48-card item deck. The 8 revealed cards are called the reinforcements. Choose your rest healing. This is the number of hit points each player will heal between encounters. For your first game, we recommend choosing 2. Choose a starting player. That player takes the round marker and puts it in front of them with the taunt side up. That player is the defending player during the first round. Next comes Encounter Setup. Find the appropriate encounter card and place it in the center of the table. Put the indicated location card nearby. If the encounter card indicates a monster subdeck, shuffle those cards into your existing monster deck. At the beginning of the game, there is no monster deck yet, so the indicated monster subdeck will be your starting monster deck. Using the column corresponding to the number of players in the game, put hit point counters on the location. Then, reveal cards from the monster deck next to the location until the total threat of monsters meets or exceeds the indicated location threat number. Next, starting with the defending player, reveal monsters from the monster deck in front of that player until the total threat of that player's monsters meets or exceeds the indicated player threat number. Repeat this process for each player. If the encounter card includes any special setup instructions, follow them now. Then, give each player the recruitment coins indicated on the encounter card. Next, if any revealed monsters have ambush effects, resolve all ambush effects in the order of your choice. Finally, cover the encounter card with the location card so that only the penalty at the bottom of the encounter card is showing. During a round, the player with the round marker is referred to as the defending player, and the monsters in front of that player are the active monster group. Each player may play cards to help save the defending player and the location. On each round, players may take any of the following actions in any order. You may play a hero. To do this, put it on the table in front of you and resolve any immediate effects it might have. Each player may play a maximum of 1 hero per round. You may play an item on a hero of the matching type that you played earlier this round. If the item has any immediate effects, resolve them when you play the card. You may not play an item if you don't have a hero of the matching type to wield it. You may not play an item on another player's hero, and you may not play an item on a hero that has already fought this round. You may fight a monster. To do this, turn a hero that you played this round sideways, then choose an active monster to fight. If there are no active monsters, you may choose to fight a location monster instead. If the hero or item uses a die to determine damage, roll the appropriate dice. Then put damage markers on the monster to mark the damage. If a monster is dealt damage greater than or equal to its hit points, it is defeated and discarded from play. Once per round, the defending player may use the round marker to taunt a monster. Taunting a monster means taking it from one monster group and moving it to your monster group. To take this action, flip over the round marker so that it no longer says taunt, then move the monster. This action can be very useful for taking the pressure off the location or your fellow players. Players may play cards and fight monsters in any order, and may intersperse their actions however they like. In this example, Gurky is the defending player. He plays a rogue. Rogue has an immediate ability, so he immediately taunts one of the location monsters to his monster group. Deirdre then plays a clergyman, and uses its immediate ability to make Fiona draw a card. Fiona then plays her player hero, which counts as her hero for the round, then plays a mace on it, and uses it to fight 2 of Gurky's monsters with her cleave ability. She rolls a yellow die and gets a 2. She adds 5 to it from her mace, so she places 7 damage tokens on each of the 2 monsters she fought. This defeats one of those monsters, so Gurky discards it. Then Gurky plays a kite shield on his rogue, places a shield token in front of him from the kite shield's ability, then fights a monster. Gurky then uses the round marker to taunt a monster away from Deirdre by flipping over the round marker and moving the monster to his own group. Finally, Deirdre gives her clergyman a freezing staff and uses him to fight one of Gurky's monsters. Since each player has now taken all of the actions they are allowed, they decide to end the round. If the location still has 1 or more hit points, and there are no more monsters on the location because the last monster was either defeated or taunted away, the players get the location reward. This happens immediately, so it can be in between player actions. When the players cannot or do not wish to take any more actions, follow these steps in order. First, the active monsters and the location monsters deal damage. The defending player loses hit points equal to the total damage of the active monster group. If that player runs out of hit points, the players lose the game. Then, the location loses hit points equal to the total damage of the location monster group. If the location runs out of hit points, it is destroyed. If that happens, follow the instructions on the penalty section of the encounter card. Next, if there are any bosses on the location, they move to the active monster group. Then, beginning with the defending player and proceeding clockwise, each player takes a location monster and adds it to their own monster group until there are no location monsters left. Finally, discard the location card. Its bonus and reward are no longer available. Remember that shield tokens may be used to prevent damage to players, but not to the location. After monster damage comes the cleanup step. If any player played a card with the broom icon during the round, those players resolve all cleanup effects. Then, players discard all the cards they played this round. If you discard your player hero, just leave it near your discard pile. You'll get it back later. If you have any unused shield tokens, discard them. They may not be saved for later rounds. Next, if the defending player has any recruitment coins, that player must spend one to recruit a card from the reinforcements. You may overspend when recruiting. A silver coin may recruit a silver or copper card, and a gold coin may recruit anything. When you recruit a card, it goes straight to your hand. Replace the recruited card in the reinforcements with the top card of the appropriate deck. The defending player sets aside their player hero, then discards down to their hand size, which is usually 5, then may discard additional cards from their hand that they don't want. The defending player then draws back up to their hand size, then returns their player hero to their hand. Finally, the defending player passes the round marker to the player to their left and places it so that its taunt side is face up again. When all monsters in play are defeated, the encounter is over. First, there's a cleanup step. Resolve cleanup effects, discard all cards played this round, and discard any unused shield tokens. Next, in any order, players must spend all of their remaining recruitment coins to recruit cards from the reinforcements. As usual, recruited cards go directly to your hand and are immediately replaced in the reinforcements. Players may intersperse their recruitment however they like. After recruiting is finished, each player sets aside their player hero, then discards down to 5 cards. They may then discard any additional cards that they don't want. Next, they refill to 5 cards. Then they take their next level player hero into their hand for a total of 6 cards. Each player gains hit points equal to the rest healing number chosen at the start of the game. However, a player may never heal above their starting hit points. Pass the round marker to the next player. The game then proceeds to encounter setup for the next encounter. Each scenario card defines the win and lose conditions for that scenario. In most cases, you must defeat the boss and avoid letting any player drop to 0 hit points. But be sure to check the scenario card carefully for alternate win or lose conditions. We hope this video has been informative for you. If you have any questions, please contact us at slugfestgames@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and defend Greyport.